Hey guys, so I was gonna do a very different video today, but because of the events that happened in Stockholm yesterday, I don't know. I just want to feel I just feel like I want to get it out because a lot of people are asking me on Twitter about it. So last night, yesterday afternoon, a suicide bomber blew himself up in central Stockholm, and well, the event started with a car flaming up. So a car was totally in flames. 12 minutes later, in the very central Stockholm, right off the big pedestrian streets where basically all the tourists and all the Christmas shoppers walk, about 15 yards into like a side road, a little alley road. He blows himself up. People are not sure if he had second thoughts and just couldn't go through with it fully, or if something with the bomb malfunctioned, because apparently he was carrying multiple bombs on him, but only one exploded, and so one person died, and that was that person. And they're estimating, and then I don't think it's any way an overstatement that had he been in the crowd and had more of those bombs exploded at the way that they were potentially meant to, it would have been a total massacre. And we haven't had that in Sweden. I mean, a suicide bomber like this, that concept is new to us. There was an event 25 years ago where Swedish residents, although they were from a foreign country, decided that they were going to make a statement and they were going to blow a bomb. But because they had been living in Sweden, they just felt like Sweden had given them so much, and this is from their own statements. So they went to Copenhagen, and bombs exploded there in '85. But going from then, in 2003, you have multiple events. You have a person driving high speed into an extension to the street that this happened on, but further down, where it's very narrow, a lot of pedestrians. He drives a car in high speed straight into the street. 2 people die, and I think 16 or something people injured. And people consider it basically a miracle that more people weren't hurt that time. Later on that year, our foreign minister Anna Lindh was killed, murdered in Stockholm. So you have all these throughout history. You can kind of drop down on Swedish history and see things like this happening, but this is very, very new. It's the first time. So, and you start thinking about people, what could have happened, what was potentially very possible to happen. People you might know, people you don't know, fellow Swedes, and it's just it saddens me a lot, and it pisses me off so much, because the level of being a coward is so intense that let's put it this way. We had elections earlier this year where an extreme right party came in, the Swedish Democrats, and taking that in account towards this, I feel like they got in, they were voted democratically in, and from a democratic perspective, I totally respect that. I don't agree with most of what they're saying, but they wanted to change, the country, but doing it right. They're going through the system, doing it right, but blowing people up is the act of cowards, regardless of what your political or religious leaning is. I was glad to see that there was a demonstration in Stockholm today. I think it was organized by Swedish Muslims for peace, and we just don't want it here. We don't want it anywhere in the world, but we don't want it here. This is an open society, and that's all I can say. But it saddens me, and it really gets to me. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.